Hi everyone, it's Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways to use rosettes to decorate a cake. I'm going to do this cake 3 times just to show you the different techniques. This is my white layered cake. I will put the link in the description for that. And then this is my mock meringue buttercream that I'm going to be using today. I also have a video for that, so I will put the link in the description as well. So I'm not going to be obviously making either of these in today's video. So I'm going to go ahead. I have 4 different piping tips here. I have an 848, a 1M, hopefully you can hear this over all the rustling, a 195, and a 2D. So I'm going to go ahead and fill my piping bags with some icing, and I'm just going to show you the different looks that each of these different tips gives. All right, so this one right here is the 1M. That is my favorite one to do a rosette cake with if I'm just doing the entire thing the same type of rosette. This one, it has a lot of tiny little cuts, so it makes one that has a lot of ridges in it. And then this one is a bit of a closed rosette tip, and it has a lot of openings in it as well. And then this one is very similar to the 1M, except the tip of it is closed. All right, so I wanted to show you just the different rosettes that each one of these tips makes. This is the 1M, and like I said, this is my favorite to do a rosette cake with. You do want your icing to be pretty smooth when you make a rosette cake because you don't want a bunch of bubbles in each rosette. This is the 195, so it's the one that has a lot of little cutouts. And then this is the 848, so it's the larger, more closed. And then this is the 2D, so it's very similar to the 1M, but it's a little more closed. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is going to start with the 1M. All right, so as you can see here, I do have my cake on just a clear acrylic circle, and then it's on a cake stand on my turntable because I want it to be higher. Honestly, I would normally have this a little higher. I just don't have one of my buckets at home like I would use at work. So I just really have this here to use as height. So we are going to try, obviously this is a different angle than you're used to me standing in for this, but we're gonna try to get it in shot. So what I like to do for a rosette cake is to start just by gently squeezing and going all the way around the bottom. This kind of seals the bottom so that you don't have any gaps at the bottom of your cake as you're doing your rosette. So you're just going to start, you're going to try to have 3 rows of rosettes because this is a 3-layer cake. So you just start and you do your rosettes. And see down here at the bottom, if we wouldn't have put that border, you would have a space. So I'm just going around, and like I said, well, actually, I'm not sure if I said it or not, so if I did, I'll just say it again. You don't want your icing to be super soft for a rosette cake because your rosettes will just fall off if your icing is too warm. Or if you're like me and you have really hot hands, your icing will just get really soft and fall off of your cake. So right here you can see we have kind of a big space to fill. It's okay, there will be a back. So that rosette looks a little funky, but that will be the back of the cake. So I'm gonna refill the bag and I'll be right back. All right, so we are going to pick off right here with this weird one for the next layer. So I'm just gonna go up a little bit. And if you have, like, you can see right here, that's an air bubble, that's another air bubble. So we're gonna have a few, for lack of a better word, blowouts along the way. So it is going to, it'll be fine. You can fix it. You're just, sorry, I'm trying to make sure you can see this. You're just going all the way around and you're offsetting. So like this one is in the gap of these two. So you're filling in all of this space with your icing. And this icing, like I said, is my mock meringue buttercream. And I did add a drop of purple to the icing while it was mixing to make it a little more white. The purple offsets the yellow from the butter a little bit. So up here, I'm going to start right here in this gap. And I'm just going to go up a little bit. I touched it. A little bit above the top of the cake. So you want to go up just a little bit higher than the cake for these. And you're just working your way all the way around. I'm gonna need more icing here in a second. Looks like I got a little off and started going a little lower with this row of rosettes over here, so I have a little more area to fill, but that is okay. And then here is our end, so we're just gonna go up and finish it off. All right, so now that the side is done, I'm gonna try to do this without sticking my finger in the cake. I'm gonna take it off of the stand and put it directly on the turntable. Hold a little closer. So you could stop here if you wanted to, but we started with a crumb coated cake. If I was going to start here, I would have smoothed iced just the top of the cake, and then you could stop here and do writing or put other decorations on the top. But I want this to be a full rosette cake. So you can see here we have a bunch of little gaps. So I know that my rosettes are not going to fill every single one of those. So what I like to do is I like to go in and just pipe a little bit of icing in those spaces just to fill them so that you don't see your crumb coat. So now I'm going to find the back, which I believe is right here. So I'm going to start in the back again, and I'm just going to do little rosettes right on the top, somewhat overlapping that top row. And here, it's okay, I'm just gonna have a little smaller one. And then in the center, you're just kind of filling in. And there you go. That is, move my rag out of the way. That is a simple rosette cake using the 1M tip. So I'm going to scrape all of this off. Well, I'm probably going to take a picture first, but I'm going to scrape all of this off and come back and show you another one. All right, so this one is going to be very similar to the last one. So we're just going to start the same way, just a little ring around the bottom. And these rosette cakes are really great for any occasion, birthday, shower, wedding, but I especially love, this is one of my favorite smash cakes that I've ever done, and it was super simple. It was pink, but it was like 2 or 3 different shades of pink. But we're just going to start out doing this size rosettes all over the cake randomly. And this is still that 1M tip. And it's so hard not to do patterns whenever you're doing things or wanting to do things randomly. You will find yourself getting into a pattern. And then I have the 848 tip, and this is Ateco, I don't know which brand tip. So this is the large closed one. So we're gonna go in and do some larger rosettes mixed in. And really what you wanna try to do is kind of fill in some of the space. You don't wanna leave a lot of space in between some of these. So we're just going in, doing big rosettes. And then we can go in, same tip here, but I'm just gonna go in the reverse direction and just do some small ones. Again, we're just filling in space. they can stick out a little more. It's totally fine. Got a lot of icing in this bag. So we're going to switch back to the 1M. We're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to just go in and do some smaller little dollops in the spaces in between. Don't worry about those gaps. We will fill those in with some other things here in a minute. You switch up your direction that you're going, however you want to do it, just to make it each rosette look just kind of a little different. Oh, my hand is shaking like crazy. I'm just going to then go in and just kind of dollop these in, or you can try to do small little swirls. And down here we have kind of an awkward one. I'm just gonna fill it in as best you can, and as you're spinning, you will see just some little gaps. Just pipe a little star in there. It'll be totally fine. Another one. And up here at the top, like I said, don't really worry about those. Just come at it from sort of an angle and just fill it in. Don't think I see any more gaps. Okay, I'm gonna fill my piping bags and then we will do the top. All right, so for the top, you can take it off the stand if you want to. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna once again go in and start with some random placement with the larger tip. And then we're going to just fill in spaces with the other tip. And we have just a little space here and there. And one right here. So it's kind of hard to get like the real feeling for this cake with it all being the same color. Like I said, I would probably do this in like varying shades of whatever color you're going for your party. Maybe do 4 different bags with different shades of pink or different shades of like teal, or you could do each type of rosette a different color. So I am going to scrape this off and we will do another one. All right, so for this one I did end up coloring the bags because it's just easier to get the full effect with them, with color in them. So I kind of went with sort of a mermaid-y theme here. So we're just gonna do a bunch of different techniques with the star tips. So I'm gonna start out with the 2D, it's a Wilton tip. So we are just going to do some kind of ruffles up the side of the cake. And I have never done this like all together before. So this is kind of a trial. So I'm just going back and forth and we're just gonna fill in around these. Nothing too spectacular here. You could do an entire cake like this and that would be really pretty. So here with this teal, I think it's the 848 tip. So we're gonna do just some, and as you can see, I do have a little bit of white that was left in the bags because I just didn't want to get new bags. And that is totally fine. So we're just gonna put them all over. Just doing like we did with the other one and mixing everything in. And I might run out of icing. So here we have the 195 Wilton tip. So we're going to do this in different sizes all over. I do love this one for this kind of a cake. I think it's because it reminds me of a seashell with all the ridges. You could add some little pearls on this cake if you had them. It'd be really cute. Yeah, I don't think I made enough colors. Enough icing in each color to do the top too. So we will see. So I'm gonna go back in with this one and just do some small little zigzags back and forth. Now we have just like a really light green, so we're just gonna do some little stars and little clusters. Like I said, it's not just a full rosette cake, it's just different techniques with star tips. And this one can really kind of just be used. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the microphone with the bag. Just kind of use this as filler. And we'll go back in and fill a few more of these areas with a different color here in a second. Let's see, which one do we have the most of? Really don't know. So you're just pushing and pull it straight out for these little dollops. And then we will do the same with the purple. And it's okay to kind of overlap just to add a little bit of depth to the cake. I'm going to fill that in with some green. Sorry if this is like really boring you. We do have some little space down here at the bottom. Like I said, you could add pearls if you wanted to. Up here, I am just going to go around and fill in that top with some of this lighter color. All right, so up here on the top, I'm just going to do the same thing. A lot of repetitive. And I'm going to try to squeeze every bit out of this bag. Oh, I'm gonna go on with that tealy green color and do a few. We'll continue that one up to the top. And this is something you could do if you wanted like a mermaid themed birthday cake, but you didn't want to go somewhere and get it or pay whatever someplace would charge you for it. You could easily do this and buy some little plastic figurines and add to this, or even, like I said, some little pearls, and let the rest of your decorations, you know. I hope you enjoyed this video of using the star tip to get some different textures on cakes for different events. And if you make any, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.